Okay, this video is a series of different dimensional analysis problems that I'm going to go ahead and work out for you, just to show you how to do it. In this case, I have 25 hours is equal to how many minutes. Make sure you get a conversion or an equivalency statement or a proportional relationship, however you want to, whatever you want to call it. Normally, I'll give those to you if they're not something that you should know, like there's 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so we start off with what we're given. Of course, that's not what we're given. We're given hours. Okay, 25 hours over 1. And then I want to put hours on bottom so it cancels out. I have a direct relationship between minutes and hours, so I can put minutes on top. If I didn't, then I'd have to have another step. Okay, there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So hours cancel out. I'm left with minutes, which is what I want. I do the math. 25, which is 2 sig figs, times 60 minutes. Remember, you need to include your minutes right here, your units, because you did not cancel them out. Now remember, you do not have to include these numbers to monitor your sig figs, because those are exact numbers. There's exactly 60 minutes in 1 second, or in 1 hour. So you would not take that into account. So the number of sig figs you have, 1, 2, you have 2 sig figs. So when you do the problem, in this case, we would have 1,500 minutes. Okay, you can either leave the answer like that, or you can put it into scientific notation, which would be 1.5 times 10 to the 123 minutes. Either one of them is fine. Remember, make sure that you circle your answers. Remember, if I tell you that your answer needs to be in scientific notation, make sure you put it in scientific notation with the appropriate number of sig figs. Okay? In this case, 1, 2, or if we have standard notation, 1, 2, do not put a decimal at the end of those trailing zeros, because then your sig figs turn into 4. All right? So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, 15 gallons into pints. So your equivalency statements, okay, I happen to know the direct relationship between pints and gallons, and if you do, that's great. Then this becomes a one-step process. But because majority of you probably do not know, we'll build up to it. So I know that there are 2 pints in 1 quart, and I know that there are 4 quarts. I don't know why it looks like there's a U right there. 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So we'll use those to build our ratios. We'll build our fractions with that in our dimensional analysis problem. So we start with what we're given over 1. There's 2 sig figs here, so let's make sure our answers at the end have 2 sig figs. Okay. I need to put gallons on bottom. I do not have a direct gallon to pint relationship, so I need to go through another unit. In this case, I'm going to go through quarts. So I have 4 quarts in every 1 gallon. I go again. I need to get rid of quarts, because I don't want quarts, I want pints. So I do know that there is 2 pints in every 1 quart. So if I go quart, pint, there's 2 quarts. Check that. There's 1 quart for every 2 pints. Okay? So quarts cancel out, gallons cancel out, pints is what I have left. So when I rewrite it, it should be 15 times 4 times 2 pints divided by 1 times 1 times 1. Okay? So when you solve your problem, you should end up with 120 pints. So 120 pints. I do not put the decimal at the end because there's already 2 sig figs there. Again, if you wanted to put it in scientific notation, it would be 1.2 times 10 to the 2 pints. Either one of these would be an acceptable answer. Let's take a look at another problem. Okay, so 500, exactly 500 seconds is equal to how many days? So again, most of us probably don't know the number of seconds in a day, so let's build up to it. So I know that there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. I know there's 60 minutes in 1 hour, and I know there's 24 hours in 1 day. Okay? So we have our equivalency statements. We need to build our conversion factors from that. So first thing you should do, make note of your sig figs. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3 sig figs there. So make sure your answer has 3 sig figs when we're all said and done. You take what you're given, 500 seconds over 1. Okay, I need to put seconds on bottom, and I don't have a direct seconds to days relationship, so I'm going to go ahead and use this guy right here. 1 minute, 60 seconds. Do it again. I don't have minutes to days, so I got to go to something else. Minutes to hours. I know that there's 1 hour and there's 60 minutes. Again, one more. If I need to get rid of hour, because I don't want hours, but I want days. And I do have a relationship between hours and days. It would be 24 hours in every 1 day. So when I rewrite the problem, it should be 500 point, oops, forgot something. Hours cancel out, minutes cancel out, seconds cancel out, days. Don't forget that part. Okay, 500 times 1 times 1 times 1 day, all over 1 times 60 times 60 times 24. Okay, plug that into your calculator, and you should get 0.0057. Okay. I'm not going to put the units right there just because obviously, hopefully we know that is not the number we're going to be using. Okay, so you can put this in scientific notation or we can leave it in regular notation. But of course we know that they have too many sig figs right here. Okay, this right here is not a sig fig, but we need to use it to round that 8 up to a 9. So my real answer is going to be 0.00579 days. Okay, that's how many days are in 500 seconds. If I want this in scientific notation, 5.79 times 10 to the negative, what, 1, 2, 3 days. Okay. Either one of those are correct. Make sure you have your units, make sure you have your appropriate number and your appropriate number of sig figs. Okay? We'll do one more. Okay. Nice, easy one. It should be just a one-stepper. 7.6 yards, okay, with 2 sig figs is equal to how many feet? Well, this is a one-step conversion, so my equivalency statement here would be 3 feet equals 1 yard. What I'd like you to do is, if you could, pause this video and then solve this, just following the same steps that I did, and then check your answer because I'm going to go over it when you resume play. Okay, 7.6 yards over 1 times, I need yards to feet, so yards need to be on bottom and feet are on top. There's 3 feet in 1 yard. Yards cancel out. Feet, what I want. That'd be 7.6 times 3 feet divided by 1 times 1. My final answer is going to be 22.8, but I have 3 sig figs here when my answer is requiring only 2, or the problem's only requiring 2, so this would actually round up to 23 feet. And if you wanted that in scientific notation, 2.3 times 10 to the 1 answers. If you have questions, make sure you ask in class. Okay, I'll be available.